It may surprise or even shock you to hear what I'm about to say, but if you're seeing this video right now, it's no accident. As a chosen one, you're standing on the brink of something magnificent, and contrary to all the doubts swirling in your mind, it will happen much sooner than you think. You might feel you're not ready or that the path has too many hurdles, but the universe has a habit of fast-tracking chosen souls when the moment is right. Before we delve into why and how, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment 77 below to send a powerful signal to the universe. Replay this video as often as your spirit leads. If you're truly chosen, you'll stay until the very end. If not, you'll likely slip away long before these truths fully land. Chapter 1. When sooner really means now, there's a sacred timing at play in your life. While your logical mind might chart out months or years before you see the fruit of your labor, the watchers, the spiritual forces guiding you, often accelerate those timelines. People you meet every day may be content to move slowly, believing major breakthroughs require extensive waiting. Yet for a chosen one, soon can become now at lightning speed, leaving you both excited and a bit taken aback. Think of those stories where someone toiled in obscurity for ages. Then, in a single week, everything changed. A dream job offer landed, a mentor appeared, or a project went viral. That's not just random luck. It's divine synergy meeting someone's readiness. Chances are you've spent years preparing in ways you barely notice. The watchers took note of each prayer, each skill you honed, each internal barrier you overcame. Eventually, they orchestrate a swift alignment, creating what seems like an overnight success. Why does it happen so fast for a chosen one? Partly because your destiny doesn't just serve you, it serves a larger plan. The watchers can't afford to see you delayed indefinitely when your impact is needed to uplift others. So the moment they see your spirit aligned, free from crippling doubt, bitterness, or self-sabotage, they set things in motion. This doesn't guarantee a breezy ride, but it does mean once the green light flashes, events can cascade at breakneck pace. On your end, a sudden acceleration demands quick adaptation. If you procrastinate or half believe in your calling, you might feel overwhelmed by the influx of responsibilities. However, that surge of new tasks or invitations also reaffirms you're in the right place. The watchers never bombard you out of cruelty. It's evidence that the door you tried to push open is now swinging wide, ushering you in with a flurry of activity. Instead of panicking, harness your adrenaline into structured, purposeful action. Signs you're entering the sooner-than-expected phase include unusual synchronicities, like meeting the right collaborator at a random event, receiving funds or resources from an unexpected source, or hearing the same theme repeated in conversations and readings. People might comment that you're glowing or wonder how opportunities are practically chasing you. In these moments, discard modest, self-limiting scripts and accept the unfolding. Trying to slow it down out of fear might stifle the very momentum you've prayed for. Hence, when soon morphs into now, it's no fluke. It's the cosmic schedule revealing itself after all your silent work behind the scenes. Embrace it. Yes, you'll juggle new tasks, confront uncharted territory, and occasionally doubt your capacity. But if the watchers have opened these gates, they trust in your readiness. All you need to do is reaffirm your commitment. Instead of bracing for a far-off dream, anchor in the present because the dream is arriving at your doorstep and it's hungry for your energy, your vision, and your unwavering yes. Chapter 2. Breaking your mental timelines. Since childhood, you've likely been fed the idea that real progress unfolds at a slow, steady pace. Culture often teaches that success, career, family, creative breakthroughs must adhere to a set timeline. By 30, you should have X. By 40, you should achieve Y. People you meet every day might cling to these benchmarks, seeing any deviation as irresponsible or doomed. But for a chosen one, rigid timelines can become self-imposed ceilings. What if your path calls for soaring leaps at times you least expect? To unlock your sooner-than-you-think destiny, you must shatter those mental timelines. While planning has value, it becomes a prison if you refuse to deviate when divine nudges prompt sudden moves. Picture this. You drafted a 5-year plan to pivot careers or relocate. Then out of nowhere, An irresistible opportunity arises 6 months in. Following conventional advice, you might dismiss it as too soon, too radical. But ignoring that cosmic nudge could cost you a golden door that's only open now. Breaking these timelines often involves letting go of age-based or milestone-based comparisons. If you're 25 and still exploring your calling or changing career tracks, so what? The Watchers measure readiness by spiritual maturity, not chronological milestones. If your spirit resonates with the present opening, that's your signal, regardless of where you are on your personal schedule. By releasing preconceived deadlines, you free yourself to jump into blessings at a moment's notice. Of course, rewriting your mental timeline can trigger fear. What if I'm moving too fast? What if this ends in failure? People around you might echo these doubts. But consider how many times you meticulously plan something, only for life to unravel it anyway. Rigid control rarely ensures success. It often hinders agile responses to unexpected gifts. In the realm of the chosen, fluidity surpasses fixed scripts. You remain vigilant but flexible, able to pivot the instant a better route appears. Another aspect is reconciling the gap between your slow and steady comfort zone and the watcher's pace, which can shift from snail speed to warp speed overnight. That's why personal growth and adaptability are essential. You practice mental elasticity, acknowledging that if you put too much trust in a single timeline, you might miss new revelations. Trusting the watchers means you let them rewrite your schedule, layering in surprises that catapult you further than your original plan ever could. Ultimately, releasing these mental timelines fosters a healthier relationship with time itself. Instead of viewing time as a scarce commodity ticking away, you see it as a canvas for divine orchestration. You appreciate each day as a potential pivot point, not just a step in a controlled ladder. By doing so, you position yourself to leap joyfully into sudden opportunities whenever they arise, no matter the date on the calendar. That shift in perspective is essential to harness them much sooner than you think. Factor in ensuring you're not your own barrier to destiny, but an active, open, and quick-moving participant in the cosmic plan for your life. Chapter 3. Embracing Moments of Pivotal Shift. In a chosen one's journey, moments of pivotal shift appear unpredictably, often turning your world upside down in a matter of days or hours. You sense them looming, a dream intensifies, or a restless stir in your spirit emerges. Yet the actual tipping point arrives in a flash. People you meet every day might call it an overnight transformation, not realizing all the backstage spiritual and mental prep you underwent. This chapter is about welcoming those sudden pivot points instead of resisting them. What does a pivot shift look like? It might be a phone call that changes your career direction, or an epiphany that makes you pack up and move states. Sometimes it's an internal shift. You wake up one morning and simply know you must end that toxic relationship or launch that passion project. These aren't random whims. They're the watcher's cues that your next chapter must commence now. If you drag your feet, circumstances might escalate, forcing the pivot in a more chaotic manner. But a chosen soul who's listening recognizes the gentle prompting early on. During these shifts, your emotions can range from excitement to outright terror. One minute, you're thrilled at the prospect of a dream realized. The next, you're overwhelmed by the risk. This emotional roller coaster is normal. The key is to harness your faith rather than letting fear paralyze you. Affirm that if the watchers are behind this pivot, they'll equip you with resilience and solutions for any roadblocks. Let that mindset calm your nerves, reminding you you're not forging this path alone. Another aspect is the external environment's reaction. Don't be surprised if some people try to dissuade you, calling your pivot impulsive or naive. They might remind you of obligations, comfort zones, or past misfires. While their concerns can be well-intentioned, they don't grasp the depth of your calling. Tactfully express gratitude for their care, but reiterate that your spirit signals it's time. This stance anchors you, preventing well-meaning voices from drowning out the watcher's guidance. Interestingly, these pivot points can also unify certain supporters around you. The people meant to stand with you sense the authenticity of your shift and rush in with assistance. Emotional, financial, or professional. Their prompt backing feels like destiny's affirmation. Meanwhile, those who only favored your stagnation drift away, revealing who truly resonates with your journey. As the shift intensifies, you see a sorting effect, leaving behind the unnecessary while drawing close what truly matters. Finally, embrace the idea that pivot shifts aren't one-off events but can recur whenever major expansions are due. You might endure smaller pivot points regularly, building up to a colossal transformation. Each pivot trains you to pivot again with less resistance. Over time, you move with the watcher's signals more fluidly, trusting that these leaps, though abrupt, always usher you into new realms of purpose and impact. By welcoming these cosmic turning points wholeheartedly, you accelerate your own evolution, stepping confidently into leaps that, on the surface, look sudden but are, in truth, part of a well-scripted plan beyond the immediate horizon. Chapter 4. The Mystic Power of Faith over Logic. We live in a world that worships logic, statistical probability, and pragmatic step-by-step progression. But as a chosen one, you've likely found that logic alone doesn't explain the uncanny events that shape your path. The watchers are not confined to linear cause and effect. They move in ways that defy standard reasoning. That's why, in a season where everything happens much sooner than you think, the mystic power of faith must override pure logic if you're to seize your blessings promptly. Faith doesn't dismiss logic altogether. It simply recognizes logic's limitations. People you meet every day might accuse faith-based decisions of being irrational, but you know from experience that certain leaps of faith produce results logic can never conceive. If you rely on logic exclusively, you might hold off on a venture because your finances or network don't seem robust enough. Meanwhile, the watchers stand by, ready to supply resources once you show willingness. The synergy only activates after you commit, not before. That's the mystic formula. Faith ignites resources into motion. Moreover, faith staves off paralysis induced by data overload. In a soon scenario, time can be a luxury you don't have. A major opportunity might have a short window. If you bury yourself in endless risk assessments, you might miss the moment. Faith, however, allows you to move swiftly on spiritual confirmations. It's like a homing beacon guiding you through the fog. While you remain prudent, asking questions, verifying critical details, you also trust intangible signals that say, "This is right. Go now." Another benefit is the resilience faith fosters. Suppose you leap forward with minimal evidence things will work out. The watchers respond by unveiling stepping stones, new contacts, hidden talents, or timely interventions. Even if minor setbacks occur, faith keeps you from second-guessing your entire mission. Logic might scream, "This was a bad move," but faith interprets it as a necessary refining. People might label your unwavering stance as stubborn, but you're not being ignorant. You're honoring a higher directive that transcends typical reasoning. Of course, keeping faith alight can be demanding. Doubts creep in, especially when outcomes differ from your ideal. That's where spiritual discipline, prayer, meditation, or scriptural reflection reinforces your conviction. Spending consistent time in communion with the watchers amplifies your intuitive sensitivity. The more you practice, the more tangible faith feels, ensuring it's not mere wishful thinking, but an active, dynamic force powering your decisions. Ultimately, the interplay of logic and faith must tilt toward faith for the chosen. Logic can help form a foundation, but it's faith that pushes you across the threshold of the seemingly impossible. This is crucial in a season where blessings arrive swiftly, demanding bold, time-sensitive moves. Operating solely on data analysis, you might hesitate too long, letting golden chances slip by. But harnessing the mystic power of faith, you leap just in time to catch the wave, landing in a destiny that once seemed far off, arriving, in fact, much sooner than you or any logical observer ever imagined feasible. Chapter 5. Identifying and seizing your big moment as a chosen soul, life often boils down to a few big moments that determine the course of your destiny. While incremental growth is steady and important, it's these pivot breakthroughs, arriving swiftly and sometimes unexpectedly, that catapult you to a new level. The watchers meticulously arrange these moments, observing how you handle smaller challenges to measure your readiness. Yet a crucial step is recognizing that moment when it finally dawns. This is it. Identifying your big moment can be tricky if you're used to second guessing. A hallmark sign is a convergence of internal clarity and external alignment. Your gut says yes, and tangible signs or confirmations appear in your environment. People you meet every day might consider it perfect timing or coincidence, but you sense a cosmic undertone. You see recurring symbols, keep hearing the same phrase from different lips, or encounter repeated references to a single theme. That repetition often signals it's the watchers nudging you. Once recognized, the decision to seize the moment is your next test. Big moments typically demand leaps outside your comfort zone. Fear flares up. What if I fail spectacularly? Or what will people say if I crash and burn? Swirl in your thoughts. But this is precisely the juncture where your chosen identity must rise. The watchers wouldn't present an assignment you can't fulfill. Dismissing the opportunity out of fear or preference for comfort isn't an option unless you're willing to remain in stagnation. Seizing it means stepping forward, not passively waiting for a gentler or more convenient time. In seizing your big moment, you also set off ripples that benefit others. Some blessings in your life are key to unlocking blessings for many. Picture yourself as a door opener. Once you accept the leadership position or produce your groundbreaking art, you spark hope in those around you, perhaps even providing direct opportunities for them. The watchers orchestrate these chain reactions, so your elevation contributes to a broader tapestry of positivity. This underscores why letting your fear deny the moment would hamper more than just your own progress. Moreover, maintaining humility is essential. Gloating about your big moment or flaunting it in ways that demean others can sabotage the spiritual support that's fueling you. People might become resentful, creating friction that drains your focus. The watchers prefer you operate with grace, crediting divine orchestration for the alignment. A healthy sense of awe, rather than entitlement, ensures you remain open to further instructions and expansions. Each success, rather than inflating your ego, deepens your gratitude. In the end, these big moments represent the watcher's green light that your time has arrived, sooner than you or naysayers anticipated. When that alignment resonates in your soul, the correct response is swift action enveloped in faith. Don't overthink or downplay it. Welcome the wave of possibility and surf it. By doing so, you fulfill a piece of your divine puzzle, stepping further into the realm of destiny that's been calling you all along. Chapter 6. Maximizing Momentum for Lasting Impact. Once you seize your big moment, you'll notice a surge of momentum, fresh leads, supportive allies, and a sense of unstoppable forward motion. Yet momentum, like any force, can dwindle if not harnessed. People you meet every day might romanticize that initial high but fail to maintain it. As a chosen one, you're tasked with maximizing this momentum to create sustained impact, not just a temporary spike of excitement. First, treat momentum as a resource. When the watchers orchestrate a wave of favor or attention, they intend for you to channel it into productive channels. If you let it dissipate by celebrating too long or hesitating out of fear, you lose potential. For example, if your new project gains traction, quickly respond by scaling operations, forming robust frameworks, or forging strategic partnerships. Don't wait for the hype to fade. Strike while the cosmic iron is hot. Yet there's a balance. You must also avoid burnout. The rush of momentum can tempt you to overwork. You might feel unstoppable, but physically and mentally, you have limits. Sustained impact demands you pace yourself, allocate rest, nurture personal relationships, and maintain spiritual practices that keep your energy grounded. People who ignore these routines often find their progress stalls abruptly, undone by exhaustion or emotional breakdown. Another aspect is building on small wins before momentum fizzles. Suppose your social media post or event gains significant traction. Your next move shouldn't be repeating the same formula, but innovating a step further. Each accomplishment should serve as a springboard, not a lounge chair. An album release, a successful conference, or an acclaimed art piece should immediately follow with the next vision. This continuity shows the watchers you are serious, eager to leverage each victory into sustained growth. Then they respond with more cosmic alignment, fueling your climb. Part of maximizing momentum also involves strategic alliances. If you're receiving newfound visibility, pay attention to who surfaces in your circle. Not everyone is there to help. Some come to ride your wave or shift your direction for selfish ends. On the flip side, genuine partners can multiply your impact exponentially. Vet them with both logic and intuition, discerning if their values match yours. If synergy is evident, combining forces can quickly expand your reach, touching more lives and fulfilling more aspects of your purpose. Finally, keep your eyes on the bigger picture. The Watchers don't just want you to have a brief moment of glory, they intend for your journey to light the way for others. Each step you take under the banner of momentum paves a path behind you that others can follow, like a mentor blazing a trail for the next generation. By internalizing this viewpoint, you realize your momentum isn't merely personal gain. It's a communal invitation for transformation. Thus, as your breakthroughs arrive much sooner than you think, embrace them wholeheartedly. Yet keep in mind that capturing the wave is just the initial move. Converting that wave into lasting influence requires discipline, partnerships, and continuous evolution. Do it well, and you'll step beyond ephemeral success into a legacy that resonates with every heart your journey touches, proving that being chosen isn't about a fleeting high, but a lifetime of purposeful expansion. Chapter 7. Living in expectancy, not anxiety. Now that you grasp how swiftly blessings can arrive, how do you avoid restlessness? Adopt an expectancy mindset. Faith that your next breakthrough is near yet grounded enough to treasure the present. Others may see this as daydreaming, but for you, it's a focused posture that aligns with cosmic timing, promoting peace instead of impatience. Begin with gratitude for where you are. Even if you sense a coming shift, you stay fully engaged in current tasks and relationships, avoiding the trap of resenting today while yearning for tomorrow. This dual perspective, thanking the Watchers for now while preparing for what's next, keeps you steady. Expectancy also tames anxiety by emphasizing possibility over fear. Instead of obsessing over potential failure, you ponder. What if things fall into place more amazingly than I imagined? That shift turns nervousness into motivation. You grow comfortable with the unknown, certain that wonders can unfold any day. You remain patient without being idle, honing your skills and ready to seize any sudden invitation or open door. Even in a lull, your diligence signals the Watchers that you won't slack off just because fireworks aren't visible yet. Expectancy breeds generosity too. Trusting your own future to be secure makes you more inclined to share resources and contacts. By affirming abundance rather than scarcity, you attract unexpected kindness from those you've helped. Finally, expectancy ignites joy. Each morning becomes a fresh adventure, alive with small synchronicities confirming you're on a divine track. Others might call it naive optimism, but you know it's faith, the certainty that being chosen means blessings can appear at any moment. So, live in expectancy, not anxiety, convinced that the Watcher's timing is flawless. No longer fearing missed chances, you move fluidly between daily tasks and big leaps, poised for blessings that, yes, tend to arrive faster than you'd ever believe possible.